If you're looking for some holiday gifts for your beer-loving friends, I have some stuff for you coming up this week on Beer in Front. This is Beer in Front, part of the Beer Media Group. Every week I'll talk to people in and around the beer world and get their stories all about beer. That's Beer in Front, and it's coming up now. Welcome to episode 282 of Beer in Front. I'm your host, Dave Zalatoris, and Beer in Front is a charter member of the Beer Media Group. On the show today, I have some ideas for you if you're looking for a holiday gift for a beer-loving friend of yours, or if you just need to buy something for yourself. I have some beer suggestions from friends of the show, so stay tuned for that. Plenty of beer news this week, and also I'm going to have some holiday beers. So plenty coming up on the show. On the show next week, I'm going to talk to Marty Nachel, who has written a new book that's really good. So that's coming up next week. And then I don't know, I might take a week off or something. You know, the holidays are here, so we'll see where it goes from then. But this show is going to be a good show, so don't just skip and say, what's he got, 10 minutes? I don't need to listen to this. Yeah, listen for the full 10 minutes. Please, do me a solid. In beer and beverage news, Anheuser-Busch InBev, they've acquired, and this boggles my mind, an 85% stake in Beatbox. So this is valued at almost $500 million, $490 million, and they're on path to 100% ownership. If you're not familiar with Beatbox, they look like juice box, and they have a ton of flavors. You could get them in an end cap at your grocery store. I tried it once when I was on Bumwine's show. $500 million. I mean, people at InBev AB, they know business far better than I do, but you need to sell a lot of these to get your $490 back. You know, what do I know? But that just seems like a lot of money. Shiner Bock is going to come out with an NA version. That's coming out next month for dry January. Also, Harpoon, their IPA, that's an old classic. They're redoing the label art and their can art, which really looks sharp. I do like the new design that they have. So if you're in Harpoon's distribution area, check that out. Michelob Ultra is now going to sponsor the World Cup, and they used to call it Man of the Match, but now it's Superior Player of the Match. And they have a new trophy that kind of looks like, it's a nice looking trophy, I guess, but huge Michelob Ultra branding on it. So look for that if you're watching the World Cup next year. I've talked before about Craft Malt Month, and I've talked to the people over at Blue Ox a few times on the show. Well, if you're a home brewer, if you go to Blue Ox's website, you can now purchase malt for your use as a home brewer. So that's really cool. So if you are a home brewer, definitely check out Blue Ox's website. If you're heading to the Super Bowl, and I'm recording this after the Bears lost to Green Bay, don't get me started on that. So the Bears won't be heading to the Super Bowl. How do you make that? Don't get me started. But if you're going to the Super Bowl, there's going to be a big party on Friday, the 6th of February, with Post Malone and Buddies. This is sponsored by Bud Light. Huge concert prior to the Super Bowl. New Belgium is coming out with the old version of Fat Tire and their Sunshine Wheat Beer in their iconic old labels for New Belgium's 35th anniversary next year. So if you're a fan of the old Fat Tire before they redid the recipe a few years ago, you could check that out in 2026. Lone Tree Brewing in Colorado has a new winter seasonal that sounds really good. This is a chocolate and pistachio stout. This sounds like fantastic. It's a sessionable beer, 5%, so it's not like an imperial stout, but I think that sounds really good. I like the stout with the chocolate and pistachio. I think that's going to be really good. So if you're in Colorado, you got to check that out from Lone Tree. Finally, here in Chicago, Goose Island is redoing the labels and marketing for 312. That's a wheat beer that's been around for it's been around 20 years easy now. So it's still like that bright yellow package. The font is a little different. The 312 is more of a rounded font, but it's going to be big on the bottles or cans. I'm assuming it's going to be cans. They have in big bold letters, it's a Chicago thing. But it's brewed and packaged by Goose Island here in Chicago and in New York. So I don't know if it's a Chicago thing, if it's brewed in Baldwinsville, New York, but it's a Chicago thing. The holidays are fast approaching, and you might have a beer lover on your list, and you don't know what to get them. I have some friends of the show that have been on in the last year or so, and they have things that would be great for any beer lover. You got to get them more than beer. I mean, beer's a great gift, but get them something a little bit more than beer. My friends over at Radcraft have a couple really cool shirts. One of them I own. It's called Pilsner is for Perfectionists. They also have one for if you're a fan of Gozas, you can get a shirt. The thing that's really cool about these is the money goes to Western North Carolina hurricane relief. There's still folks out there that are recovering from the devastating hurricane in 2024. So you could get you or a loved one a cool looking shirt, help out the people in Western North Carolina. So it's a win-win. You head over to Radcraft's website for more details, and I'm going to include all the links in the show notes. Also, another thing I want to add, none of this benefits me. These are all friends of mine that I think deserve support. So I have no skin in this game, but my friends do, and if you help them out, that would mean a lot to me. So I do appreciate it. My friend David Nilsson was on the show just a few weeks ago. We were talking about his zine with Final Gravity. David also has a book out, Pairing Beer and Chocolate. So if you liked what you heard from David, I'll include the link where you could pick up this book. It's a cool book. I'm reading it myself. So you could check out Pairing Beer and Chocolate. I think that one's a winner. I got more books. I just don't drink beer. I read. So I got a couple more books coming up for you here. Joel Geyer, he's been on the show a few times. He released a book actually right around this time last year called Flights Across America, A Brewery Lover's Journey. Has over 1,000 different breweries in there. That was a really good read. So if you or someone you love travels a lot and needs to know some good places to go, anything like that, Joel Geyer is your guy. So I'll include the link so you could pick up Flights Across America. Marty Nachel, he's been on the show before talking about the Craft Beer Hall of Fame. Well, he has a new book, just came out a week ago. It's called The Beer Story Project. I have purchased this, have not had a chance to read it yet last week with Thanksgiving and everything, but it's on my to-do list, and I'm hoping to get Marty on the show in the next few weeks before the holidays, and he could tell you a little bit more about this. But I know Marty's a great writer, ton of stories to tell, so this one should be a good one. So you definitely need to check out The Beer Story Project from Marty Nachel. Some of you might need something a little different than alcohol. Well, I've talked to a few people in the THC beverage world, like Shine On. I've talked about Kick Fizz. I've talked to a couple others. So I'm going to include the links there because sometimes you people might need more than just alcohol. Speaking of beverages, Five Corners Beverage Company, located right here in Chicago, sells some great non-alcoholic beverages that you could use as a mixer or even as a standalone, and they're all great. Like their salted lemonade is phenomenal. They put out a new one called Sangrita, which I think is really good. It's got citrus, tomato, chili powder. That's phenomenal. And I'm a guy who does not like tomato juice, and that made a convert out of me. So definitely check out my friends over at Five Corners Beverage. Now, some of you people just drink a lot, and that happens. I have tried, and I had them on the show last call. This is after alcohol wellness. You take a couple of these and you don't feel as messed up the next day. You say to yourself, I've seen junk like this in gas stations or whatever, but this stuff is legit. It's got DMA, it's DMH based. There's other ingredients in that. I don't have the packet right in front of me, but I will tell you that I have tried this. I tried it during FOBAB, and I woke up feeling like a champion. So I definitely recommend Last Call if you drink a lot or you know somebody that drinks a lot. Try Last Call, is going to help them feel a little bit better the following morning. And finally, the last one. Now, this is something I actually do have skin in the game. Go Brewing. I've had them on the show a couple of times. They are my favorite, by far, non-alcoholic brewery that's out there. Dry January's coming up. You might want to pick some stuff up if you're going to participate. I am an ambassador with Go Brewing. So if you follow the link that I'm going to give you in the show notes, I do get a little kickback from that. So I do want to say that the Go Brewing one does help me out, but it's a great product. I drink Go Brewing all the time. I just don't drink beer. Sometimes I got to work in the morning. So I do have some Go Brewing always in my fridge, and their stuff is great. I don't consider it non-alcoholic beer. I consider them beer. Their stuff is that good. So definitely check out Go Brewing. Have a great holiday season, or you could always just buy people liquor. But, you know, my friends that I've listed here, you could help them out as well. So happy holidays and thanks for listening. I'd like to thank everyone that supports the show over on Patreon. If you'd like to support the show and hook me up with beer, you could head over to patreon.com/beerinfront. It does help the show out a lot. If you have any ideas or show suggestions, please feel free to email me, Dave at beerinfront.com. All right, the beer that's in front of me now is a holiday beer from AleSmith. This is Yule Smith Double Red IPA. Looks great. Looks like a Christmas sweater on here. A big fan of the stuff that AleSmith puts out. According to the can, it's a celebration of their 30th anniversary. They're bringing this one back. It's a Double Red IPA with big citrus and pine hop notes. Gotta love that. Let's check it out. Oh, color is phenomenal, spectacular, nice, beautiful color here. Good foam on this one. Oh yeah, I get everything with that. I get all the malt notes with the pine and the citrus. It smells phenomenal. Really outstanding smelling beer. Oh, that's delicious. Really good. Nice balance between the malt, the hops, but they're both there. They're both very aggressive. This one clocks in at 8.5%. So it definitely will warm you up in these cold winter. They're in San Diego. What do they need a winter warmer for? What are you doing in San Diego? What is it, 60? You need a winter warmer? But if you're in Illinois like I am, and you see this from AleSmith, their Yule Smith Double Red IPA, I think it's absolutely fantastic. Let me grab one more sip of this. Phenomenal. You know what to do. Put this one in the cart. It's not going to be around for long. The next holiday beer I'm going to have is from Southern Tier. They're in New York. This is a spiced double ale, 2 Xmas, 8% alcohol. According to the can, this is an ale brewed with orange peel, ginger root, cardamom, cinnamon, cloves, and fig paste. So this should be pretty good. Like I said, 8%. So let's crack this open. I don't even have this near my nose, and I get the big whiff of aroma. The color looks really good, almost kind of a little bit redder than a Vienna lager, if you want to picture that in your mind. Good foam here. That aroma's outstanding. I mean, you do get everything there. I definitely get like the ginger, the orange, I think a little of the cardamom, and definitely the cloves. I'm not sure about the others, but let's give it a taste and see. But the smell is fantastic. Oh, yeah, it's really good. You definitely get all those flavors. Very festive, very holiday like beer. I think it's pretty good. Let me have one more sip of this. Kind of gives me an old Anchor Steam Christmas vibe to it, but this is 8%, so you get that little alcohol burn at the back. I like it. I think it's pretty good. I haven't had a Southern Tier in a while on the show, but I was picking up a couple holiday beers, so I grabbed this one. I think it's good. So if you see this one in your travels, nice, beautiful green can, got some Christmas ornaments on there. It's called 2Xmas Spiced Double Ale. If you see it, grab it, put it in the cart. All right, that's going to wrap things up for this edition of Beer in Front. I thank you very much for listening. If you need to reach me for any reason, please email me, dave@beerinfront.com. Have a great week. I'll talk to you next week. And remember, sometimes the beer in front of you is the best one yet.